The Nets look really good. The Nets look fantastic. The Nets look incredible. But the Nets won't win a championship. And the only reason they won't win a championship is because of Kyrie and KD. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They will get to the point of will they make it? Will they? Oh my gosh! Like people in Brooklyn, stand up. We have a chance to win. We have a chance to win a championship. But you won't win it for the exact reason you made it there. You won't win it. You won't win it for the same reasons you made it there. Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They're nutcases. Like they're soft, and when you put them against somebody with the mental fortitude, as for example LeBron James, or I don't know why I said it like that, LeBron High, like when you put them in a situation where they go against somebody who has like a mentality that is like staggering if you really think about it, like it's ridiculous, like in terms of like a hardening of like a mentality. When you put them against something like that, then it's gonna be like okay, like who's gonna prevail? And I don't trust Mr. Sage, and I don't trust burner account. You know what I mean? I don't trust them in situations because even when Kevin Durant was with the Warriors, he was surrounded by people which like Steph Curry, no matter what you say, has like a intense mindset. He might pull his mouth guard out and do goofy dances and all kind of stuff, but he obviously has an intense mindset, especially being in the finals even without Kevin Durant. Same thing with I hate him, but you say the same thing with Draymond Green, and you could say the same thing with Klay Thompson, right? But him by himself, you already saw that his mindset wasn't all the way there when he was at OKC. Kyrie, we already know he's different. He's like the world flat, or you know what I mean. So
Can I push back on this particular hot take a little bit?
Please, please.
Like, because like if we're gonna like if you want to say that you're not gonna get there because of like KD and um Kyrie, like I'm not necessarily going to be like you're completely off base because like we've had this conversation. We're kind of just waiting for them to implode, right? For Kyrie to get super selfish and self centered. That's basically what we're waiting on, right? But like the thing with Kate, like the thing is like, yeah, KD is soft. Like he lets a lot of stuff get into his feelings and get him in his feelings that you shouldn't. Like, why should you care what some random on the internet says about you? Like, just turn Twitter off. It's okay. It's okay. But like he he's been to the finals multiple times. He got
mhm.
there before he was at Golden State. Like when he was at Golden State, at least one of those rings he got, he basically made them get the ring.
because
Everyone else looked like they were phoning it in.
because he was
Um,
surrounded with people who had I would say personally superior mindset in terms of competitiveness. That's
but
me
like,
personally.
well, but just like my thing is like, if we're talking mindset, KD's mindset will not be why they don't win, right? They're not going to win because like they're gonna run up on like the Lakers in the finals, or like they're gonna get bullied by like Embiid or something. But like they're not going to lose because like KD can't like hang when like you need him to.
Well,
Like,
I want to say it's. I want to. I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying he can't hang. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I don't trust. KD is the most talented scorer that we have watched with our own eyes, right? Like that's a. It's not a hot take. It is what it is, right? But even with that being the case, I don't know if I trust his talent to outweigh his insecurities, and I don't in like his. It's and I don't know if I definitely don't trust Kyrie's to you know what I mean to outweigh his insecurities. So when you have those two type of people leading a basketball team, I'm not sure if I actually if I'm a Brooklyn fan, I'm hyped because we're gonna have a good regular season. But when it comes to crunch time in the playoffs, I am not sure if I trust these two to go up head to head with anybody else who makes it or whose team is good enough to make it that far.
so
Hey, go ahead, Calvin.
no, so like I think the difference is like the thing is Kyrie's insecurities are insecurities that will affect like how your team plays basketball, right? Because like if he doesn't want to be like the understudy, he doesn't want to be he's not comfortable being the number two, then like he's going to like try and be the guy, and like he is KD on his team, he's not the guy, he's the number two, which may or may not mean he's the dude closing games, but like if like you need them to win, like if you're trying to get somebody to will them to win, it's not going to be Kyrie, right? But like the Kevin Durant, for all his insecurities, they don't really seem to affect his basketball too much. Like you can get inside his head, like it's been done before. Tony Allen did it, but like it's not the easiest thing to do as far as like in the middle of a basketball game or a
So
series.
before he went with the Warriors, and I know I know you got to go before he went to the War. I know going before he went to the Warriors is like a double-edged sword because one, he was a different person. You know, people grow, you know, change, whatever. But two, it's the only time I can look at to where he was like not necessarily surrounded by people. Well, people who have like the Warriors mindset and the Warrior culture, right? Which is like the win-win, you know, whatever. Especially recently, and he fell victim and left because of the self-esteem reasons with Russell Westbrook. It's essentially that's what it was. Essentially, like Russell Westbrook, what is it in his head? Is it a number two? He's a number one guy, and they said, and Durant was like, no, and they butted heads, and then he dipped out, even though he had that's where he had the best chance to win. So if I have to go back and look at that last time he was in a situation like this, to where Kyrie and Russell Westbrook, and to a degree, have that similar mindset of I'm not a number two, I'm a number one. So KD is in this willingly, yeah, isn't it willingly? But I have to see it work out first for me to go, okay, I'm all in on this, and that's all I'm saying.
Oh, oh no, that's completely understandable. Also, like I feel like one of the things with KD, 'cause I remember reading an article forever ago, like prior to when season started, where like basically his whole thing prior to like going off and like finally getting a ring or whatever was like his thing was like I've been the number two my entire career, like the number two recruit coming out of high school, the number two overall pick, and like he was tired of being number two, right? And
Oh,
like
I
he
remember. Okay,
considered
I remember
he's
reading this.
considered
Yeah.
this the second best player in the league. Like he got fed. Like I'm sure he got fed up with that. It's not. I don't think it actually had much to do with Russ necessarily, but like it was more like just KD and where he was at. That said, that being having that level of like having that insecurity. But I don't think. Well, I could be wrong, but I don't think Westbrook necessarily exacerbated it. Maybe the talk about their dynamic did, but Westbrook himself, I don't see it. But that's just me.
Yeah. No. I get that. I mean, first of all, I do remember reading that article also. So, but
Hmm.
like, even if it doesn't, I think you could argue that it has affected his game in some way. It might not
Oh,
affect his game in the game, but it's affected. It's affected his decision making.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
100%. And you can, I guess, you can like you do articles and stuff like that. You can go back to pre NBA about why he's made these decisions, but we all know the stories of NBA players who made their own decisions to go to a certain team, whatever it is, and it didn't work out. "Quote unquote." Paul George, Russell Westbrook, OKC, very recently ago, right? Like these players make bad decisions for themselves all the time. Kyrie made a bad decision leaving Cleveland. Like like it happens, but I have to really like the whole KD dynamic. The KD Kyrie dynamic is going to be fine and dandy when when every other game you're not playing the best of the NBA every day. Every other game you're playing against, I don't know. No offense, but a Memphis, right? Like you can like they're going to be really good in the regular season. But I'm really curious, like, what's gonna happen when the playoffs come and you're playing the best of the best every night, 7 game series, whatever it is, and you go, and I don't know, and I'm curious. Maybe they'll all change my mind, but I truly am more focused on. I don't know if they can beat. I don't actually know if they can beat um, the 76ers, honestly. I think that's the team. That's the team. That's the team I'm looking at. Like, I don't know if they can beat them. They beat Boston the other day. They beat Boston the other day. But Boston once again is like one piece, one player away from like being really, really good. But once again, I truly again don't even know if they can beat Milwaukee. Because Milwaukee's that team where each player knows their role and they're gonna do the role good or great. Every single person. There is no one tripping over the other person because they want to do this role and they want to do that role. When we look at the Nets, we don't even know who's gonna close games. Who's the Nets closer?
Like the
Who
person
who
that
can
can
the
just
ball
go
to
get a
the
bucket?
game? Yes.
To me, honestly, if we're just talking about offense, I think you can give the ball to either one. Kyrie has proved in several big moments that he can get it done, especially when there's somebody who is possibly better than him next to it. Like, I'm not saying he's the reason why LeBron got that one ring in Cleveland.
He is.
Where he did hit that shot.
100%. 100% he's that reason. LeBron has another ring because of Kyrie. But the thing is, do I trust the self-esteem of these two dudes to go, your turn this time, my turn next time? I don't know. Especially when you're the best in the world at what you do.
Look, all I gotta say, KD has played in the system, like you said, where there's other guys who are just as good or probably more important than him on that roster. I think he has finally figured out how to manage that, because when he left from Russ and them in 2012, he was 20. I mean, not 2012, but when they went to the finals, he was 24. I think when he left, he was 26. This man is 30. He's had injuries. He's had time to grow. He's had time to figure things out. I do not think those issues will be as big as we think when it comes down to time. But just like you, I'm very excited to see like their first real test, where it's like a heated game, where like it's been like 40 plus games. People are really trying to go at them. I want to see that, because right now their chemistry looks amazing. And my personal hot topic is I think the Nets will have the best offense. They will have the best offense in the NBA this year, and they will also challenge to break the Mavericks' highest offensive rating from last year. I really think they're going to be able to do that. Like, it sucks that Spencer Dinwiddie got hurt, but I think even without him, because you can put Karis LeVert in that same role that Spencer Dinwiddie did, and instead of having 7 guys that can score 20, you only have 6. And it's a partial tear, so I don't exactly know when this man's going to be back, but if he can get back in time for the playoffs, and is even in like half decent shape, like, I think we're looking at one of the best offenses that we'll see in the league. Like, we got a dude that can average you 30 a game, who's like career average is 27 points in Kevin Durant. And then we got Kyrie, who I feel like is a 25 point per game dude. And then like when you got to worry about Kevin Durant,
well,
I think the ceiling is
it's a cliche.
Crazy for this team.
It's a cliche. Defense wins championships. But it's always true to an extent. Like, it's always true to an extent. Like, even if you want to break it down to one play of LeBron block and, Andre Iguodala, it's always the case. You need more than Jarrett Allen to play defense on this team. Like the team's not going to be good at defense. Oh, Kevin Durant's a good defender. Yeah, he plays good help defense. You're right. And then sometimes he gets dunked on by Terry Rozier. You know what I mean? But like,
that's an open court. Everybody get dunked on.
Yeah.
No. I just wanted to bring it up. It was hilarious to watch. But they're like they're going to be offensively possibly all-time great, possibly, but I don't think they play enough defense, especially when you go up against like the Lakers and like you got LeBron and you got like AD. You need to play some kind of defense. They won't. You know what I mean? AD being there, AD's presence is automatic defense. It is. Like automatically, like, and he tries to like play legitimate. Like I think he wants to be like he said he wanted to be defensive player of the year this year. Like that's automatic defense. You know what I mean? And I don't think that they want to they don't want to play defense. It seems, but offensively they're going to be fantastic. But once again they're not probably going to win championship because you need to have a little more something on the defense than what they have.